Welcome back to another video. Y'all's favorite video. I know y'all count down. The only good thing about Mondays, I know, is this video on what the hell is going on in crypto today or this week or for the past couple of days, because it has been absolutely crazy. And I'm going to tell you this video, I'm not even going to lie to y'all and tell you it's going to be short. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm planning on handling it a little different. Sometimes it's going to break up the usual and do things a little different. And I think I have a couple of things I want to discuss. And instead of making a second different video or about what the hell's going on in crypto, I'm just going to discuss it in this video. And then I just won't take as much time in some of these projects that we're going over that we normally go over every Monday, because nothing has really changed with them. They're on mainnet. They're just going along and there's nothing really to talk about. But they do have one or two projects that have something big going on, and we're going to discuss that. We'll discuss those before the other projects. So stay tuned and let's get to it. Well, first of all, I'm going to tell y'all happy Mardi Gras. Even though Mardi Gras officially, or Fat Tuesday as we know, and one thing about, little fun fact about Fat Tuesday is it is harder for me to lose weight during Mardi Gras than it is any other time of the year, because my kryptonite, my weakness next to Hooters, is king cake. For those who are familiar with king cake, it is regular plain king cake, nothing filled in it. You know, they put either cream cheese or they can put apple or they can put all the stuff in it. I want the plain cinnamon with just a bunch of gooey icing on top of it. And again, it is so hard for me to lose weight during Mardi Gras. This right here is one of my favorite. Again, I grew up in New Orleans. In the city itself is where I kind of grew up. And I'm a king cake affectionate, as they'll call it. I don't like cheap king cakes. I don't like grocery store king cakes, the actual king cake bakeries. This is Manny Randazzo's, for those who probably have never heard of it before, depending on where you are in the world. By far, my #1 top rated king cake. And you can see this makes my mouth water just looking at it. Some people might think, you know, they get their mouth water because of steaks and stuff. My mouth's watering right now just looking at it. I honestly just cut a piece of our king cake from Manny Randazzo's, and I had it here with my napkin. I was going to show it to y'all, but as I'm setting this up, I ate it already. Literally, that is my kryptonite, and I can put down some king cake. It's stupid. And what I'll even do is I have these things aren't as expensive when you go into the store, but you actually can order these online. Not that I am trying to, you know, sell these or anything like that, but I usually order one of these for my buddies in California. You know, we go back and forth a lot at some of our RF radio conventions and stuff like that. So he's always talking about Louisiana, Le Bon Ton Roulette and all that stuff like that, because he's from California. So I'll send him one of these every now and then. And you can see what the price is on it. It's crazy. But again, when you get them in person, they're not this bad, but I can tear up some king cake. So it is Mardi Gras season here. And with Mardi Gras, everything's in the French Quarter. You do have some parades and stuff like that, but this is where the party place is. Growing up, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, 21 years old was Bourbon Street, French Quarter with Mardi Gras. It was a life-changing experience. And, you know, at the age I'm at now, I can look at this picture and say, I don't want nothing to do with it. But unfortunately, duty calls. And last year I actually did a video with some things about Mardi Gras and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. Hey, they had 1,900 views, to be honest with you. It's one of my top ones. I am working in New Orleans this weekend. That's why I don't know if I'm gonna be doing one of these videos come Monday, which will be my first Monday video I actually miss. I think since I started doing these Monday videos. So who knows? Maybe I'll have to do a live stream from New Orleans or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But for those who know and who watch my channel, I was in New Orleans for the Super Bowl doing some special type of job duties, and they have spun us back up again, requested some help for Mardi Gras. I guess after what happened for New Year's Eve or New Year's night with the terrorist type thing, unfortunately, people lost their lives. They have spared no expense, and they want to make sure everybody's safe, having a good time. So I'll be down there again. I just don't know exactly what nights. I know Saturday during the day we have a parade where I work at, and Sunday where we have a parade also. Saturday is a very small kind of parade that I'll actually be in as far as work. I drive through it, and last year I live streamed it on my other YouTube channel for those who caught that, TheGrumpyDad Outdoors, and I had some people watching it, not a lot, but hey, it's a neighborhood carnival type thing, which it's a little bit different. It's a lot smaller. And then Sunday we have a much bigger parade in my parish, and it's got a lot of people, but I'll be working on a command post, so I won't be riding in that one by no means. So I have an upcoming very busy week at work coming up, but there's a lot of stuff going on in these projects, and with Wingbits and stuff like that, I'm losing my mind, tearing a little bit of hair I got left, and sleeping before I sleep 4 hours a night. I'm looking if I can get 2 or 3 now. It's killing me. It's crazy. Trying to keep up Wingbits, geosigners, moving some machines around. It's been going crazy. So let's hop to it. Let's get into this. But again, I'm going to skip kind of around because I'm already talking too much, and I'm not going over every video. I mean, every project. So if there's a certain project that you're looking for, I'm sorry if I skip over it. I don't want to make this an 1.5 hour long video. I want to talk more about some of the news going on in crypto today, and with some projects. And unfortunately, that means I might have to skip some other ones. So let's get to this, man. Well, first thing we got to talk about real quick is Bitcoin. And when I switch to this, I can't even leave my camera on because it's going so low that I have to turn this off to be able for y'all to see this price. So this has been since the last video on the 17th, and it comes down, it goes back up, and then this is when Bybit announced that hack comes back up, or it doesn't really come back up, it goes sideways, and then today you had it come back down. I've been watching videos, I've been trying to pay attention to what is going on with this mess right here, and from what I'm seeing, some of this has to do again with some of the Bybit stuff, but from what I'm hearing and what I am looking, and I've tried to keep politics out of my channel. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in. What I'm being told is that, and what I'm watching from several different sources, is today's drop has more to do with Trump than anything else. That's just the facts. He announced today about that we definitely going through with some of these different tariffs and things like that. I guess people thought that some of that was going to back off, and he said he's still going full throttle with some of these tariffs, 25%. Despite how you feel about them, I'm all about the crypto side of it. Crypto's dropping. There's a lot of things I can say about it, but I'm going to refrain from it. But, there's a lot of stuff I want to say about it. But again, I'm trying to keep this non-political. I just wish people would think more independently, not just 100% one way, 100% the other way. Listen, we have way too much excessive spending. I think a lot of people can agree with that. How we're going about killing some of it, I don't agree with everything that's happening. And while I understand that our tariffs were too low, a drastic increase all at one time, maybe too much, because there are some things that you cannot buy in the United States. I do a lot of IT work. I do a lot of radio work at my office. And there are certain things that even if I wanted to buy USA made, they don't have it in the US. You have to buy it from other logistic places that aren't available. Now, if we weren't charged enough tariffs in the past, I'm sorry, I understand, but it's a drastic jump. and the market showing it, not just crypto market, but the stock market and everything showing it also. So maybe we just don't need to be doing it as drastically at one time. Again, it doesn't matter who you saw. It doesn't matter who you voted for. You could have voted third party, fourth party, fifth party. These are the facts we're dealing with in front of us. You know, with Trump, you're going to take the good times where Bitcoin jumps up, and you're going to take the bad times where Bitcoin goes down. Now, what I'm reading and what I'm seeing is you got times where you got people saying that there are several of these Trump people, the cabinet and stuff like that, that a lot of them, almost all of them own some type of Bitcoin or crypto or something like that. And they think that is going to propel crypto better than in the last previous administrations, if that makes sense. So again, we've only had Trump in office for a little over 1 month. Some people have already stereotyped him that, you know, everything's bad, and the man's had 1 month in there. You got to let some of these games play out. That's what I'm saying. You know, some other things going on. I see people talking about more ETFs coming. You got HBAR and XRP and Solana and Litecoin and stuff like that. Like as if this is going to be the savior to the altcoin market, and that this is going to become, you know, like Bitcoin when Bitcoin jumped up because of ETF. And you didn't see that with you saw a little bit of a boost with Ethereum, and it came right back down. And again, I'm not saying this as being negative against any of these cryptos at all. I own a little bit of XRP. I own a lot of Solana, and I own a little bit of Litecoin because I used to mine it. So I'm going to hold on to a little bit of it. But, you know, the best way of describing some of this ETF money is, and again, I saw like 2-3 different videos from some real financial people. You know, what I'm talking about here, none of this is financial advice. Y'all are watching me for the pure comedic talent to see what I do wrong in my life. You know, so don't take this as financial advice, please, at all. But I'm just going to tell you what the videos I've watched and what I kind of agree with is this cup right here is full of, say, the ETF money. And if majority of it's poured out into a Bitcoin ETF, it only leaves so much left for these other ETFs. If you pour some out for the Solana one, then there's only so much left for the XRP. If people really want to get an XRP because they're hearing all the news that's coming out about XRP with the banks and stuff, people might start jumping more into XRP. But there's only so much ETF money to go around. Only so many people at one point are jumping into ETFs. And yes, during times, more people get into it, but the majority of money, it can only go so far. And it's going to get diluted and diluted and diluted. So by the time you get to XRP, HBAR, Litecoin, Solana, how much of that ETF money still left? You're kind of seeing that with some of the ETF that's right now that's not named Bitcoin. Again, that's what people who do know what to talk about are talking about in videos. You can find those videos or watch the TV. They talk about that also. Is when you zoom out, yeah, Bitcoin might have hit some all-time high and it came down at 90, but it's really been in kind of almost like a sideways action for 100 days now. So when you kind of look at this, it had this great price increase when Trump got elected, but it's really just kind of been sideways since then. You know, depending on how much you want to, you know, vary it, if that's the word to use. But I was preparing for this report. I mean, it's 9:50 right now. That's how late I'm making this today. But I'm going to let y'all know, I don't have a lot of cheddar going around. I don't have a lot of free cash going around. I told y'all I got a lot of stuff going on right now in my life. Kids graduating, trying to find my wife a cheap car or something like that because we had to give her older car to my daughter. I don't have a lot of free capital going around. I took some extra stuff I had, some USDC and another coin I really don't feel good about. And this was down at 91,200, which is about right here a little while ago. And I bought more Bitcoin. I bought more VET, and I even bought more VTHOR, which is the gas for VET, because when you look at how much that's down, it's down like 90-something% since all-time high. Again, now this is financial advice. I just tell you what I'm doing. but I also even bought some Solana, and we're going to talk about Solana real quick. And to start, we need to go back a couple months back. November of 2023, FTX collapse. And you had people who were swearing, Solana is done. Get out of Solana. Solana is wrapped up with FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and stuff like that. And I kept trying to tell people back then I didn't have a YouTube channel really active, but I had, I was the mod of 2 different Helium groups and on Discord, member of Discord with some groups. And I was telling these people just sitting there, I can't believe Helium went to Solana. Solana's trash. Solana's going down, and sell you Solana. And I'm like, y'all are idiots. And I got slammed for it over and over. You see, I wasn't just controversial with this YouTube channel. I was even back then. I was grumpy back then. Because people sometimes, I think people forget the spirit of where we started with crypto at and why we started crypto. And now we're more market oriented. Look, I know it ain't us people. The bigger retail, the bigger whales and stuff. When Bitcoin and crypto really started moving with the stock market is when I really took notice that we're kind of getting away from the spirit of why we started crypto, or whoever started crypto was to break away from that kind of stuff. And now it just seems like we're more worried about what the hell is the market going to do versus the value and the reason why we started those tokens. And you look at this, and this kind of opened my eyes when I got blasted online over and over. When I'm telling people at $9 and $10, you're at $8.19 right here. And I've told you all the story. I was buying it up. Now, where I was an idiot at is when they started getting up here like this 25, 26, I stopped because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Just in case some people are correct, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, which tell you all that all the time, I don't want to keep buying this. And it fell back down again. This is like 15, 16. It didn't even fell in June of 2023, back down to 14. I bought a little bit more. And then you had it going up and it going up and it going up. And my Solana wallet looks pretty good. Don't get me wrong. And it ain't enough to go buy no kind of Lambo. I wish I would have bought more, but at the time I bought what I could afford. And now you're seeing this right here happen again. And here we go. Where you're having this huge downwick right here. And this right here is 140,000, something like that. And people now losing their mind again. And the fact that you can get this right now, this price is a blessing. Now, am I telling you that this is the time to buy? Absolutely not. Again, this is not financial advice. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But I think some people forget that a month ago, Solana was at $295. And it has dropped in a little over a month, 53%. Now, one thing I learned in crypto is, again, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but is that you never try to catch the falling knife. And I think some people are trying to do that right now. If you have been buying this, back, it wasn't just that long ago. It's at $138 right now. And it wasn't that long ago we were at this, and I was telling everybody, when it gets to 125, 130, start buying. I'm not stupid. I know some of y'all are probably screaming at your computer screen right now. I understand. FTX will be unlocking at some point. We know that Solana is about to have about $2 billion worth offloaded from this FTX bankruptcy type thing, and it's going to crash even more. This article was written 6 hours ago, and the support line that they had has been dropped long before, like already. So March 1st, Solana or part of the FTX bankruptcy and stuff like that, there'll be 11.2 million Solana tokens released, sold, whatever you want to call it. At one point, they were worth 1.78 billion. Well, the price keeps going down. They won't be worth that much. But what's also happening is you have Bitcoin and Ethereum liquidations going crazy right now because everybody's trying to play the market. My point of all this I'm telling y'all is, don't try to catch the falling knife. Don't try to anticipate what's going to happen as far as it dropping. I'm telling you right now, I get paid Friday. got some good overtime on my check. Again, this is not financial advice. We still have a lot of projects on Solana. That's why I cover Solana so deep. Not only because it's one of my biggest, if not the biggest investment I have, but because all these projects that we talk about, that we can be talking about in a minute, a lot of them on Solana. And I'm telling you right now, while I don't think it's going to fall to $13 again or $9 again, I can tell you it's going to keep falling. March 1st, I get paid Friday. Friday is like the 28th. And Grumpy's plan as of right now is taking a good chunk of that, putting into USDC, getting ready, and I'm probably going to need to set some sell orders up or just kind of watch it. Now, one more thing I will say about crypto before I go any further with this. First of all, you can tell I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with any of this. Second of all, we always know that when we think it's going to zig, it zags. Now, this one might play the right way. We see Solana dropping hard. It is dropping hard. I can't see it keep dropping this hard the rest of the week, but it could. But I'm telling you right now, if $100 Solana, there is some, one of the support levels is $100 that we hit back February of 2024. It falls underneath that, I might just start picking some up anyway. But I know people are panicking. I'm not panicking. I see this as a buying opportunity. I wish I had more cheddar to go around, but that's me. Bitcoin, I screwed up, and I tell you, I admit when I screw up. I wish I would have started buying a little bit. I was looking more at, hey, I want to double my money, triple my money with tokens and alts. Am I gonna be able to double and triple and quadruple and 5x and 6x my money? And Bitcoin wasn't it. Even when Bitcoin was 60 or 70,000, to 5x your money, you need a Bitcoin to be 300,000. Where versus Solana and VET and Cardano and XRP and all those gave you that option better than Bitcoin. I still didn't think of the whole, scarcity and that kind of stuff like that. I wish I would have had more Bitcoin. So I've been trying to grab. So that brings us into the next, maybe it's good time to bring in my little scrolling text here, because somebody's going to make a comment about me talking about tokens and I own tokens and I'm trying to pump tokens as if my 150 views that this video is going to get is going to alter the market. So here's my little scrolling thing to let you know that Grumpy always says I will sell tokens when I'm ready to sell tokens. For 99% of my projects, I have not sold a token yet, but I'm going to put this scrolling thing just to ease my attorneys. So we're going to start talking about Wingbits now. You'll know majority of my videos are going to be about Wingbits, but there's a lot going on. I know I'm kind of skipping around here, but this is how I'm starting this video. With Wingbits, there's a lot going on right now. The biggest thing I want to talk about right now is the question that y'all have been asking the most, the people that are in the Wingbits project. One of the biggest things that people have been asking and anticipating is, we knew the tokenomics were going to change. For months and months, when we went to the dashboard of Wingbits, we would see on the top, it'd say, tokenomics are not finalized. They could be tweaked, and don't be surprised if we tweak them. And, that wasn't exact wording. That's Grumpy's wording, but it pretty much meant the same thing. So we have now an announcement. So as y'all all know, we have been working on the tokenomics for a while. And we're finally at the point that the model's complete. Now, I want y'all to know, they have actually hired somebody. I don't know who he is. I don't know his background. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know his name. I don't know his nickname or his childhood name. But a guy who supposedly, again, I don't know his background. So I take their word for it. But he does tokenomics and can do all these models and, what the token will, and if you do this kind of reward with this kind of tokenomics, this is what should happen to the token in 1 month, 6 months, 12 months, a year, that kind of stuff like that. He does all these studies and he's an expert at it. And they hired this guy strictly for that. And they finally worked out what their tokenomic plan is going to be. They are going to do a webinar tomorrow, an AMA stage which is going to be, I say tomorrow, depending on when you watch this, February 25th. which is at 5:30 p.m. Europe time somewhere. It's 10:30 a.m. my time, which is Central Time, which means what 11:30 Eastern United States time. So 8:30 Pacific a.m. 8 a.m. Pacific time. So I know there's going to be a lot of people. You have 135 already who have said that they will be announced this. I actually have a sticky note on my desk because I miss some of the AMAs during the day because I get busy. But I've already kind of cleared my schedule a little bit. I'm taking an early lunch, so nobody can say I'm doing stuff while I'm supposed to be working. Early lunch at 10:30. I'll be glued to my screen to cover this. I wish I could somehow stream it to my YouTube. I don't know how they would feel about that, but I'm going to cover this tomorrow with a video when I get home. If it's something that's very exciting or something that's going on, or I might do a short just to kind of tell everybody, and make sure I put it on Twitter. Make sure y'all belong to my Twitter, that y'all are following this kind of stuff. This is the Twitter right here, GrumpyDad. I'm going to cover some of it on there too. So make sure y'all are joined on that, and make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on this video. I know it's way different than what I normally do on Mondays, but there's just too much going on for me to do it the normal way. So I'm very pumped up about this. Y'all know I am bat stuff crazy. I mean, I got the Bit Harvest, but also got the Wingbits logos, and I'm the godfather of the golf. If y'all know that whole story with the Wingbits thing, I got stacks and stacks of geosigners right here that I have to go put out. I've been putting out geosigners. Look, I have been working Wingbits harder in the past week than I have in a long time. For those who are familiar with and been with Wingbits long enough, y'all know that at one point we would purchase hexes. We could put stations wherever we want, and we would purchase for $20 the hexes we wanted to cover. And we were doing that for a while. I've been in the project since, I think they said June of 2023. I was one of the first 10 or 15 stations, they tell me. So there might be a little bit more than that, but who knows? That's what they tell me, so I just go along with that. That's their word, not mine. But at some point that changed. And what happened was then they went to where your station was in a red 6 hex and nobody else could be in that red 6. Well, some of us, because it was allowed, were allowed to put more than one station in that red 6 before they went to that system. So what they did is they just kind of moved our station to a non-occupied hex if we had 2 in the same hex. Well, now it's causing all kinds of issues with the geosigner because the geosigner says your station ain't close enough. So they're trying to figure out how they're going to fix all that. What I've been kind of doing is just moving my stations around. You can't game anymore, so you don't have to be concerned with that. And so far out of I got 14 stations for myself. I think so far probably 8 of them have their geosigner set up. I got one that's in Morgan City, which is an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from my house to the southwest. I went to Baton Rouge over the weekend, froze my rear end off. I did a short on that. Showed y'all also the chirp cage I was doing from the building top, freezing my butt off, but I was right there by interstate, so I was getting some cool connections. But I did my 2 buildings. But I got a couple of stations I still got to get done. And it could be a pain in the butt to get to, but it is what it is. I actually had a host that said, hey, it is what it is. Like, people think that they got this power over host and stuff like that. I ship my geosigners to my host directly. My first 2 hosts, no problem, man. Hooked it up. They're excited for the project. They keep asking when they're going to get paid. Told them I don't know. I hope they don't think I'm screwing with them, but hey, it's true. When I asked them to sign up last summer, I'm sure they didn't think it would be this long, but hey, I guess if they ever go to the website, they'll see for themselves. One guy, I've had to get him to power cycle it 2 or 3 times. He has some wonky Wi-Fi. And when he got it in and he told him what it is, he said, man, look, I'm just not interested in this no more. I didn't think I was going to upkeep it. When I got to go deal with it upstairs, it's in my attic, and I'm not going up there to do a satellite. And he yanked the whole thing down and gave it back to me. Hey, man, it is what it is. So now I got to find a place for that because I have to get it connected with a certain part. I've told you a story about my guy in Missouri. Never did hook it up. Was supposed to go to a guest house and shipped it back to me. because he sold his house. It is what it is, man. You know, but I sit here and talk about how I'm done with hosting. This host stuff is paying the butt. And then, but if somebody called me with the right setup, I would send it tomorrow. But it is what it is. I'm hyped up for Wingbits. I'm trying to get, like I said, I'm trying to get those stations separated. I got one hex that me and two buddies from work all have the same station, all have the same hex. We each have a station in the same hex. So that's 3 stations in one hex. One guy, I talked him into moving it, and he lucks out and finds one of his buddies who has a warehouse literally 500 feet, which is a little more than a football field. 300, what was it? I don't know. 500 feet from the main runway at the New Orleans International Airport. So I got a feeling tomorrow when them tokenomics come out, if some of the rumors I'm hearing are true of what people talk about in Discord, that they were looking at, and even Robin mentioned it, about giving a little bit added bonus or boost to people who are right by airports. My buddy is going to go from a station that was making literally 3 tokens a day to who knows what at this location. So him moving out of that hex helped him out. My other buddy, he was making 1.5 because his was at his house on his roof, but he's a pilot. So he was interested in this. He has a pilot. He has one of the stations at a hangar, and he has one station here. His station at the hangar is at a little small regional airport. But he was making 1.5 a day. He just got booted out because I told him, shut your stuff down, and I'll give you, and I actually made a deal with him, like, if you unplug it, because what happened was he plugged his GeoSonar in first, so therefore he got control of the hex, and it kept saying that I was in the wrong hex or something. So he was able, I talked him into turning his off, and I'm giving him like literally 10% of what my station was making. Well, my station's making like 100 tokens a day. Don't quote me on it, something like that. Basically, if I give him like 10%, he's still getting like 5x to what he was getting before. But my point is, y'all see how much I'm dealing with this Wingbit stuff right now, trying to help them out because they can't, they're trying to figure out how they're going to fix in his grandfather station. I know I spent way too much time on that. I'm just trying to tell you how much effort I'm putting into this because I believe in that project. Another thing we're finding in with these GeoSonars is, and you can see where right here where I'm trying to help somebody out with a PoE splitter. PoE splitters, you know, before we were always on the borderline of what kind of power you're feeding these Wingbits devices and whether or not it was a Pi or a little potato or a PC. I got that running too. And what you're finding is now some of your Pis, you have a SDR going into it. You might even have a Wi-Fi dongle going into it. Now you got a GeoSonar going into it, and that's all pulling more and more power. You find some of these people with 2 amp PoE splitters or 2 amp power plugins are not getting enough power. And we got to go to 4 amp. I've always used 4 amp power splitters. So it's some of these PoE split. I mean, some of these wall warts that you get that you hook the USB to, you have to read what the sides are. There's a bunch of different voltages and that kind of stuff on there. And you know, you might have one that says 5 volt or 9 volt or 12 volt, but like this right here is a 5 volt 2 amp. And you're probably going to have issues with that. So that's what's another issue we're finding with the GeoSonars, very sensitive to not enough power. So it's one thing you want to be mindful of. All right, so I'm going to go over some of these projects, but I'm telling you, I'm going really fast. I'm probably going to skip over a couple because this video is getting way longer than I really intended to, which is basically every video that y'all should be used to by now. But first, we're talking about Chirp. Chirp is still going to be my #1 project right now. Its prices come down a little bit of the token. I don't know how much, I say this every week, but how much liquidity, if any, they're putting into it. Miner sales, you know, they want to tout how great the miner sales were. To me, it was a catastrophe because they're selling NFTs. People buy the NFTs and then just resell them for $400 more. Where if they sold the actual devices, people will be less acceptable to buying them to turn around for profit, I would think, because then they got to deal with it. So KAGE app, I am running this KAGE app non-stop. I know when I work, I can't wait to honestly go down to Mardi Gras this weekend and Monday and Tuesday because the crowds are going to be crazy. And I am going to be running this Chirp KAGE app. So I am ranked 116 for the round, and globally 217. I got 21 million data chips, if you want to call it that. But I'm gonna be running it all weekend for Mardi Gras, and I'm probably gonna do a little video on it, show you before I start all that Mardi Gras stuff, and when it's after, see where I'm at. But if anybody wants to run Chirp KAGE, here is the code, if I can point the right way, which I think is going to be my finger at this way. So you use my code, it will get you 25,000 free data chips to start off. So that helps you in the rankings from the beginning. Again, I'm very high on the Chirp project. I think as an IoT project, along with the Blackbird miners, it's going to do very well. Luckily, I got one, and that's what's making me the $10 a day. I want to make sure I verify and clear that because somebody questioned me on that. I have one Blackbird miner. I've been wanting to get a second one. I know they're $850, but however, I'm not going to pay scalper's price. I refuse to do it. I'm not buying an NFT for $1,200 for an $800 device. I'm just not doing it. So in the meantime, you can run Chirp KAGE. Now, they are saying in the Discord over and over, because I want to make sure everybody knows this, because there are going to be some people who complain about this. KAGE is not an airdrop. It's a miner that mines a little tokens, but regular. People keep asking, when is this going to drop? How much is it going to drop? They're trying to tell you that this is going to be a small part of this project. It's something that they know that everybody can't get a hold of these Blackbird miners, but you still want to be part of the project. You still want to get a hold of some Chirp. So that's what this Chirp KAGE is. And also it only runs on Android. I told you all the story that my buddy happened to get rid of an Android, let me have this one because he bought a new updated one. We just have a deal that if something ever happens to his new one, God forbid, I got to give this one back. That's the only reason why I'm running Chirp KAGE is because of my buddy. Again, you just turn it on, and this one don't have any service. I have it tethered to something in my car or here at my house on Wi-Fi. I put it on my dashboard, and I ride around 30 minutes to work, 30 minutes back, and it scans. So Chirp KAGE, again, easy app. If you go into any kind of sporting events, you go to a mall, and you go to Walmart. Walmart's like hitting the freaking gold mine. Walmart's got 100 different SSIDs apparently in there, 2,000 Bluetooths, plus the amount of people in there. Going to going to Walmart is better than Mardi Gras with Chirp KAGE. So check them out. Again, please, please, please use my code up there. I know it's a goofy code. They won't let you alter it, but download Chirp KAGE, KAGE, and try it out. All right, so moving on from Chirp, we're going to go down to GEODNET. GEODNET, their price over this last 7 days went down like 4 cents, 3.5 cents. It was at 30 cents a week ago. It's at 26.5 cents now. GEODNET is one of the most positive projects. They just work, and they got customers. It's just a good project. There's no real big announcements of it. I got the code up there. I know I'm shilling codes out. Sorry, guys. I got to buy a vehicle for my wife. But if you want to get just a standalone GEODNET device, you can go to highfix.ai or Helium Deploy and use my code, and you can get a discount, 10% off the GEODNET, the standalone GEODNET project, or the GEODNET Prism or whatever it is, the GPS repeater thing, or GEODNET Pulse, or you can get the combined GEODNET Wingbits device. All right, next we're going to be moving on to Entropy. Entropy price is still kind of going down, and we're going to talk about that in a second. I got to take a deep breath. This is why I couldn't drink before I did this video, because my mouth would have got me in trouble what I'm about to say. Still making about 120,000 Entropy a day mining on my little ESP32 device. You know, I got to flash it to y'all and show it to y'all. Costs $6. You can get 3 for $18 in my link below for the other projects we're going to talk about also. Every time this price starts going up, somebody has to be freaking greedy and ruin it for everybody. And yes, I said that. You're greedy. When you got into this project, and I know I talked about this at the last project, but I still see people making a-hole comments. People who want to go in here When you join this project, you had to go dig a hole. You had to go put effort into it. But you knew what the second law was, that you weren't going to go sell all this craziness. They have bigger plans coming in the future. All they asked was, hey, we're going to allow you to combine this. Don't be greedy and sell. If you want to sell a little bit, we have no problem just selling a little bit, then you can burn the equivalent. Just don't go sell it all. Don't go crazy. We have bigger plans. We have more collaborations coming up, and they do. They have Entropy A, which is kind of like a spinoff of the project that's coming up also. They have all these plans, and as soon as this project starts getting momentum, you have these, I'm trying not to get flagged by YouTube, but they have these selfish, you know what, that just feel like they have to go sell millions and millions and millions of tokens for that couple of $100. And then got the nerve to come on there and talk about how Entropy is a trash project that you can't sell, you can't do it. I got kicked out the project. You knew what the rules were when you got into it. I am very passionate about Entropy. It's a, you know, I understand it's not for everybody because, you know, it's kind of like boys playing roughhousing, whatever you want to call it. And some people, they get rubbed kind of wrong with the way that they joke around and what the Discord is, or what's spread like on Twitter and stuff like that. But guess what? But when you're trying to get in, begging to get in this project and digging holes and frozen dirt and doing all the stuff that they made you do, you had no problem with it then. But then you're going to go and sell these tokens and then crash the price. Every time the price goes back up, here comes all the sell buys. Like, it's disgusting. You know, this says it has $28,000 in liquidity. You know, and Dex Screener says it has 10,000 liquidity. It doesn't matter. Look, I have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of this, even at this price. I'm not selling it. This thing cost me $6. It was the experience. It was meeting a whole new group of friends. We were on Twitter a lot. And I know I'm spending way too much time on this than I should, but I want y'all to understand, some people see this and just, it's a turnoff. But as you know, other than maybe XRP, this community is very passionate, and you can tell love their project. And, you know, I'm part of that, but it's just, it pisses me off, and I'm sorry to use that, when I see what's happening, that when this gets momentum and it gets somebody that comes with a baseball bat and just swipes them at the knees with it. And then wants to go into Discord or on YouTube Lives or whatever, and then start knocking the project. You're the one that sabotaged it. Then you're going to come knock it? Then get out of here with that. So yeah, I'm a little passionate about Entropy, and I think it's a good project. I just wish that it could keep that momentum going and people weren't selfish. That's about all I can say about it. So next is going to be WeatherXM. WeatherXM has had a price decrease. They went down about 10 cents since our last video. Only real update they've had, you can go to the announcements page on WeatherXM if you're with that project, and they want people to take this form, fill out this form. They're looking into parametric weather insurance solutions, and they want people to fill out a brief survey. And for every 20 responses, they'll give away 50 WXM tokens, up to 2,500 WXM tokens total. So, hey, if you're bored one day, fill it out. I'm probably do it, see what it's about, just to do it. Next, this is what we're going to talk about right here, Junkcoin. I know I have not did a full video on this. It's another ESP32 project. Hey, you take a picture of some junk, like a box of junk. Nobody getting a bad idea here. This is rated PG or rated G. Sometimes PG, depending on, maybe PG-13, depending on how grumpy I am. But Junkcoin is a cool project. I wish I could sit and tell you more about it. It's just like these other ESP32 projects. You hang around Discord, the more active you are on Discord, they got different things for you. They also offer, I've been doing like boosting, where if you take some of your tokens and you add them to this boost pool, then you get added tokens, added rewards. So when you look at what I've been doing with this project, this week, I'm not doing any boosting. Last week I did boosting, but whatever you boost, the actual boost ranking that you put in, that gets burned, but you're making more tokens than what you put in that boost pool, if that makes sense. So if you put, say, 500,000 tokens in a boost pool, you might be ranked like 24 or 5. So that's going to boost your base rewards higher. And by the time you're done for the week, because it resets every Sunday, you're getting more tokens than what you boosted in there. Of course, the whole idea is eventually you're putting, you're one of the top 5 or 10 people that's boosting, and you're getting way more rewards. So this week, I'm kind of holding off. I'm just going to collect my normal base rewards every week. Base rewards are about 200,000 tokens, so I'm making about $1.17 a day. Hey, compared to some of these other projects, that's still pretty good. And then what you're going to see is next week, when I do that big boost, watch this go up. Because last week, we're making a couple of dollars a day. Base rewards, we're making $1.17, plus this price has come down a little bit. So if you're interested, go to junkcoin.lol. That's the website, and you can learn more about Junkcoin. Soarchain. Soarchain's a very disappointing project for me because I was very hyped up, spread the good word about Soarchain at the end of last year. We know what's going on. They don't pay you while you're parked anymore. I have no problem with that. Again, before somebody says anything smart to me, I just wish that they would give you a little more for what you're making while you're driving. The other day, Saturday, I drove a lot. I'm telling you, I drove a lot all over the place for hours and hours. I ended up with 40 tokens, which means 40 something tokens. So I drove 4.5, almost 5 hours. I made 40 cents. There's something wrong with that. Now, you can do the whole game. Hey, I used to play the game too. And if you say something in the Discord, people are just going to say, we're just holding it for today because tomorrow you don't know what it could be worth. You're right. And tomorrow you don't know what the hell it could be worth. So I'm sorry if I want to make a little bit of cheddar today. Now, again, with the rest of these tokens, with Natix, with Junkcoin, with WeatherXM, with Entropy, with GEODNET, with Chirp, and the other ones we're about to discuss, I have not sold any of them. So I'm still holding on to them because to me, this market's at a piss poor low. Excuse my French, but it just came out. Low price. And I'm not getting rid of these tokens. If I can stake some, I'll stake some. Now, Soarchain, I'm still upset with the game they played with the validators during testnet because I was friends with one of them. I don't like the way they were handled. To this day, last I knew, they still can't get rewards can't get their rewards for their locked tokens. Soarchain's giving a runaround. Soarchain told them that they might be allowed back to validate, and I'm not happy with that. Hey, is it hurting the project that Grumpy doesn't want to lock up his Soarchain tokens with Soarchain? I'm sure it's not. I'm not expecting it to be. But for principle, sometimes for me, that's all that matters. Next is Silencio. This is another one I'm very eager to see what happens this weekend. I still think Silencio is going to surprise a lot of people, but hey, Soarchain put egg on my face. And so this is either going to be another Silencio or another grass at their airdrop, because their grass at their airdrop made me $1,000. Silencio does this thing now where all these tokens you get, like me, I have 368,000 tokens. And it's actually a little bit more than that because of bonus I get from being an OG, if you see the app. And I am getting 500,000 raffle tickets. Every Silencio token is going to be a raffle ticket. And if I understand it correctly, and I've asked in Discord, that's what people are telling me, but I haven't got this official word from Silencio themselves yet. So I just want everybody to know that. You can join Silencio. Here's my code. It gives you a bonus to get started off. But from what I understand is that every one of those Silencio raffle tickets will be worth at least one Silencio token. That's the bare minimum. Yeah, right. Silencio is worth 0.00017. But if you have 100,000 of those tokens, and it's not that hard to get up to 100,000 tokens between streaks, especially if you start getting these streaks lined up. If you start finding new hexes that have not been scanned, new venues that have, you can do a venue, brand new venue, which takes you 15 seconds, and then watch the little stupid ad, which are getting ridiculously too long. And if you get the right kind of bonus with it, you could be making 400 to 500 tokens just in that one venue stop. But even at 100,000 of those at the very bare minimum, if they're all worth one, which I doubt they can all be worth one, but if they're all worth one, that's $17 right there, which is more than 50, 60 cents, which was doing better than half these projects. And again, that's only if you get the bare minimum. Now, if you go into the Diamond League, your raffle ticket's going to be worth anywhere between 1 to 1 million tokens. So if you get a couple of 10s in there, 100s in there, or 1,000 in there, think how quickly that's going to add up. I think Silencio is going to make people eat their words. There are people in there who, because of what the airdrop was and because of what the token price is, this project's a scam, this project's a joke, and all this stuff like that. And I think people are going to eat their words. Now, I might come in here next Monday all vehemently spitting all kinds of stuff saying I got made of a fool because that's not the way it went down. We'll see. And y'all know I'm going to be honest with y'all, but we'll see what Silencio does. I'm running the hell out of Silencio. If y'all can help me out, if y'all not running Silencio and you happen to be watching this section for some reason, I need like 5 more referrals to make 100. At 100, I get a bonus. If y'all have not ran Silencio, download it. It's a free app. Use my code SJSO395, please, and run some Silencio for a little while. Check it out while you're sitting there eating. I do it while I'm sitting there eating. If I'm walking around, when I'm at New Orleans this weekend, walking around doing stuff at that, working for that, or even at the parades this weekend, I'm going to be running Silencio that whole time. Next is going to be Honeygain. Again, I run any computer or third-party device, like I run BitHarvest. Some of y'all running Crank. If you're running Grass on any device, you need to be running Honeygain also. I have a referral code in my description below that gives you a bonus to start off with Honeygain and gives me a bonus. Again, I don't know how much I add up. I just have it running. In November, I told everybody in November during hunting season, I wanted some extra little cash, flash money, and I was able to cash out $100 worth of Honeygain. Took me about a year to get it, but it's just extra little lanyap, as we call it. If you're running Grass, run also Honeygain. Check my description out for referral for that. DIMO is a hemorrhoid that even Preparation H can't help. That price has come down a little bit also, but what has come down a lot is rewards. And of course, people in Discord, the little cheerleaders, are coming out saying, well, you know, they got more stations going on. There's got to be a lot of stations going on. I'm telling you, there was a significant drop in rewards for Macron for the first level, because I know they keep resetting one of my stations back to level 1, and I got one that's supposed to be level 4 max. Level 4 max has come down. This was last week, so I just want to show you how much this went down last week. Price was at 8 cents, and your level 4 device was making $167 a week or 21 cents a day. Now you're making $128 a week with 18 cents for level 4 a day, or 12 cents a day for a macaron. So just doing some quick math with a calculator, you're going to ROI in somewhere between, if you buy a macaron today, it's going to take you about 600 to 700 days. That means basically almost 2 years to ROI on a macaron. Now, I know the LTE devices will reward you a little bit more, but on the back end, at some point with LTE devices, I'm pretty sure you have to start paying for cellular. So that's how I feel about DIMO. My other issue right now with DIMO is, even though I have a helium device at my house, I have 3 vehicles with them. All 3 of them say I need to go drive to qualify, like as if they have not been connected in some time. Even though I just got rewards for them today, even though I've been driving them, all 3 of them every day, devices are in there. It's telling me that my truck hasn't been driven in like 5 or 6 days, which is BS. So now there's some kind of issue with all 3 of my DIMO macarons for some reason, all saying drive to qualify as if they're not connected, and as if my wife or kid, my son, didn't drive their vehicle to school today. And they have my helium miner here. They got another one on further down. So either my helium miner here was having issues, which is not, because I checked it earlier today before this video. It's still having issues. I'm just done with DIMO. Good luck to y'all. Wingbits, we talked about Wingbits. 375 AI, I'm still running the hell out of it. So to get the 375 AI, look, it's another project. And what I like about this is that this can run in the background of your phone while you're driving around, and you just drive around. As you can see, I have 88,000 hexes because you just keep this on. It's not really that much of a battery killer. I'm on a 33-day streak. We're on epoch 15. Don't know how many epochs it's on. Don't know how long testnet's going to be. But you can download this. Now, there is a waiting list to get in this project. However, TheGrumpyDad, I wish all my codes were that easy. TheGrumpyDad will get you to bypass that waiting list. You're welcome. Again, you have time. Get in there. Start running some hexes. What I do also every day is I do go and force close the app, reopen it, because one time I drove for like 2 days, and that's when I lost my last streak, is because the second day it had locked up and I had no idea. Don't really have that happen, but I'm not taking a chance. Every day I force close it, check it, make sure it's moving around, that kind of stuff like that. Also, what's cool is your recent hexes will also start showing up in blue, so you kind of know what you got. Y'all know I'm still a big fan of BitHarvest. And I'm running their third-party software on several of my devices. I think I'm up to 6 or 7. Don't quote me on it. I don't want to lie to y'all. But I know it's at least 6 or 7. Possibly doing another one just because I can dual mine. I have a Wingbits station already. It's a DIY station. And if I put BitHarvest on it, I can also run a multiple of other different projects. Pi-Fi is one I just learned about with the remote plugs and stuff like that. Then I realized I bought the wrong plug. But also, for those who might want to do other third-party stuff, I haven't really used them. I can't vouch for them, but they do have like Crank and stuff like that if you are familiar with those or you're running those already. But BitHarvest is what I'm using for my third-party software. 2 other projects I'm looking at right now. I keep telling you about Wayru. I got a TP link from somebody, access point, and I download the Wayru stuff on there. I never went through the whole rigmarole of getting the license and getting it connected and stuff like that. It's sitting here at my house. It's turned on. Just need time. Just need time for all this stuff like that. Another one I'm looking at also, I've been talking to Sourceful with Sourceful Labs, looking at what they're doing. Those guys are supposed to be contacting me so I can kind of figure out what they got going on. I hear they're a good group of guys. They come highly recommended from another project I'm in, and Sourceful reached out to them about getting with me, and I'm going to look into what they got to offer. Y'all know I don't like to really do videos unless I'm actually doing the video. So I just feel more honest coming to y'all saying, look, I'm in this project doing this and this. I'm not saying I've ran every single project that I've ever talked about. That's just kind of what I like to do. If it's too complicated for me or whatever like that, maybe I will just do a video on it, but we'll see what happens with that. I keep hearing that, not this is financial advice, or I even know what the hell I'm talking about, but I keep hearing that there's going to be possibly a not too favorable FOMC meeting next month, and interest is going up and stuff like that, and they're possibly not going to drop rates. And if that comes out officially, you're going to watch this go down a little bit more. I don't want to hear about who to blame for that. I'm just going to say this because I always like to call out the hypocrisy. Not that I'm taking sides with, because I would say this no matter who's in the office, red or blue. All I'm going to say is when Biden had stuff screwed up the first year, for a year, if not more than a year, when there was anything negative going on, that was still Trump's fault. Biden hasn't had time to fix everything. And that was for a year, if not longer. You have a horrible unemployment report that comes out, inflation's going up and all the stuff like that. Trump's been in office for 4 weeks, and now that's Trump's fault. I don't think they listen to themselves sometimes. I'm not blaming nobody for this. My only part I'm saying, the reason I'm saying all this is because I'm just trying to prepare y'all that this bleeding might not stop. It might be, we might be putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole over the next couple of days, but I got a feeling March, the odds of March, whatever you want to call it, I don't know what's going to happen. But you got this FTX bankruptcy and selling of tokens and stuff, March, you might want to hold on to your draws. I think it might not be too good, but we'll see. We'll see. I've been wrong once or twice before. I'm going to make me a drink. It's been a hell of a Monday. I got so much stuff going on. Can't wait till Mardi Gras is kind of over with because I'm stacked between that work, this Wingbits stuff. Can't wait for Mar. And y'all know I'm going to do a video tomorrow talking about this Wingbits tokenomics change. We'll see what happens. I'm done. Quit rambling. It's 11 o'clock at night. I still got to edit this video. See y'all in the next video tomorrow night.